Axie gets dropped out of the mech, and that should be a pretty straightforward duel there for the Colette. MBC goes for the jump and gets the kill, actually. Oh, when Axie hugs the minecart, and that is going to cost him his life gear. Picks up the gems, has a super if he ever needs to flee, and this is a very good scenario for AQM. TLX have a lot of work to do left, and that's going to make things a lot more difficult. They are getting some tags across the board. Nixler making sure they can't heal up too much either. Nice snipe from Max coming through. This is a big chance here for Eden to try to tie things up. But here it is, actually. They make it work. Defense. That bubble is going to be turning things around, actually tying things up completely. And now positioning is slightly in favor of Eden. Their chance to capitalize. They don't need a lot, but they need those bubbles to connect. They take 5% every time, but the push is coming forward, and this should be game for Eden as they take this one away. A couple of stars for TLX. Eden struggling so far. Max does have super, but the double stun from Winaxi finds a lot of value. Another stun comes through from Winaxi, does go down. Medeli goes in for the kills, gets the double bats as well. A lot of value on both sides. Trix gets interrupted mid-super. Deli clears up the rest of the map, and TLX surely will be picking up this first game. The advantage and the control, they're pushing forward. They want to capitalize. They know this is their chance. MBC goes for the shot. Deli needs to hit that snipe, and he does. That's going to be saving. Max on the low light, pumping off. A lot of value from there, and Max gets a new super right after. Damage lead in favor of Eden. TLX need to be very careful. That Peep is going to get a really important kill. Is that enough, though? Can MBC make the difference? 23-23 gets one more tick of damage, and that is gonna maybe 10%. And that's considerably high. It really is. Might not seem like it, but it definitely is. And we have a push coming forward. Not gonna be... And this is a problem here. Scarlet Stars, they're not really playing as a team. They're pushing one by one on different parts of the map, dying, giving time for Clash to heal, instead of going through with a three-man stack, trying to find one play they can single out. Raze does get the pull now onto Yashi. Kill follows up, but now this is even a little overkill because they used both the super from Tara as well as the loose super just to get that one kill.
Brawl Stars Gamestars Season 2 is going flat out. International group stage will take place from December 7th to December 10th and from December 14th to December 19th. 32 teams, 8 invited rosters with 24 teams that got qualified through regional finals will be divided into 8 groups with 4 teams in each. All matches will be held in GSL format. Only 2 teams from each group will be able to qualify for the international final stage based on their results. And in the finals, Brawlers will fight for the prize pool of $30,000. Join our stream and support your favorites at the international group stage of Brawl Stars Gamestars Season 2. Brawlers! The showdown will make history! Best teams from Russia, Ukraine, Poland, France and Turkey. Winners of the Open qualifiers and top 8 invited teams will meet in a final battle for the champion title and a bounty of $10,000. Join the stream on December the 7th. Don't miss out on the epic international group stage of GameStars Brawl Stars Season 2.
All right, welcome back to GameStars, everyone. This is gonna be day 6, starting right now for the international group stage. We've been literally halfway through, and we still got quite a couple of teams and matches to go through this season for the group stage. Looking forward to it. It's been exciting so far, and I'm sure we'll have plenty more surprises to come by the end of the season. We have half of our contestants, almost half, right, that have qualified already for the international finals. A couple of them have dropped to their decider match that will be played this weekend, but we still have 5 groups to go through. And let's start here with Group F. I believe. And here we have EXO Free Agents versus Activium to kick things off. We'll have Final Sen Esports versus Golden Age on the other half of the bracket. One of the definitely more stacked groups, or evenly matched, I would say, than some we've had before. EXO, I don't think we need to introduce them anymore. A fantastic team that has had a fairly strong year across the board. Some problems here and there, but it's still absolute legends in the roster, and I'm sure they will perform as such. Activium, they've had quite a couple of roster changes throughout the year, but they are a team that has started shining towards the end of the BSC. Curious to see what they look like today. Final Sen Esports, also a team that has shown some good signs of life and improvement throughout the year. Always short from really making it to the top of any events, but they are up there grinding for it. And Golden Age, well, the last time I've watched them, that was for the season 1 of GameStars. So it's been a while. They are a team mostly from Kazakhstan, if I remember correctly. They struggled, but they were still able to impress me in season 1, because I didn't really expect too much coming from them, and yet they still showed some decent signs of life here and there. And it's always something fun to look at, to see, some underdog teams. Even if they don't win, they still show us that they have a lot of potential, and that's what it's all about in the end. We have some of the popular brawler bans and picks throughout this season. Rico is gonna be with the highest pick rate at 7%, getting banned quite a bit. Every brawler here is actually getting banned a fair amount, but they do tend to escape the bans, right? That's why they're played so much. They're not necessarily the strongest in the game, but they're amongst the strongest, which means they're not automatic bans for most of the players. Piper, Frank, Bell. I mean, Piper and Bell, you can kind of put them in the same box, right? They have a very similar role, and that shows how important sharpshooters are to the meta in general. There's not the most options when it comes to more open maps. You're most likely going to be going Bell or Piper, and that shows right there. Frank, this is an interesting one as well. I mean, he's just a tanky boy, right? He's just very tanky. He's able to go through a lot of damage and survive in a lot of game modes that can make the difference. If you have to hold down a position or if you have to push forward, it can definitely be a very, very strong brawler. Looking at this matchup we have right ahead of us, EXO versus Activium. I mean, on theory, EXO, right? They are a team that accomplished a lot this year. I think they're a team that is disappointed with their year, but I kind of want to end it on a good note. And GameStars is their chance to do so. Activium, they're a team on the rise. It's kind of the other way around, right? They started with very little experience in competitive at the start of the year, but they've been grinding, they've been improving, they've learned a lot of stuff. We'll see if that's going to be enough to be taking down a team like EXO. It seems unlikely, but it's definitely possible. We've had a couple of surprises already this season, and Activium are definitely the kind of teams that are able to win some of those underdog stories. They've shown a lot of stuff this year. They really have. But EXO, obviously, is a whole other caliber of a team, right? If I can check the rosters for you real quick. Just give me a second. For EXO, they are actually going to be playing with a shield. They played with Yashi for the first half of the year, roughly, then with some Bentley, and now it's going to be Cursed, YD, a shield on that roster. YD and a shield playing together again. It's been a while. You love to see it. The old SK roster, right? The old SK roster. And on the sides of Activium, I think they qualified through the French qualifier. Yeah, they certainly did. That's Safe Ship, Tom, Arturo, and Perry. I mean, there's some names I've heard of before, but I wouldn't really say that they would scare me if I was EXO, right? They are a team where you can't just go in without any prep or without even checking it out. But I still feel like EXO should be coming in fairly comfortable into a match like this, just because of the skill difference that should be there, at least on paper, right? At least on paper. I am going to be reading chat again, just like yesterday, since I am solo casting. I think it's important to interact with you guys as much as I can. So I will definitely be checking out what you guys say, and I'm looking forward to having some nice discussions. We had some good ones yesterday. Whether you guys want to do some predictions for who is going to win each match, or talk about which roster changes you guys expect to see by the end of the season, I'm all ears. I love interacting with you guys. I try to do it as much as possible on social media, but obviously in the setting of a stream, it's a lot of fun to be a bit more direct. There's a little bit of a stream delay between when you guys type something and the time I can reply to it, but I try to see as much as possible of what you guys talk about. But yeah, that is basically it, guys. That is basically it. Extra roster, anyone? Poke Studio, it's Ashil, Sam Bentley, and not Sam Bentley, Ashil, YD, and Curse. Sorry. I was gonna say Ashil instead of Sam Bentley for those that got used to the former EXO roster. So that's what we're looking at for this matchup. Old SK roster, your memory is strong. I mean, it's one of the more iconic rosters of 2020, right? So I definitely do remember that. I feel like if I didn't, I would be worried about my knowledge, you know. But yeah, EXO, I'm very curious to see them playing. I'm not sure how many third-party events they've been playing lately. Obviously, I've been focusing most of my research for the World Finals, so looking at a lot of different regions. And since then, I haven't really watched too much, right? There hasn't been too much, to be fair, but I haven't really had the chance to watch too much, so I'm not exactly sure where they are, if this is a roster they're competing multiple events with. I know that this is not, at least as far as I know, I don't think this is a roster we're going to be looking at for next year to be competing together. It's more of a, you know, just patching something up for this event or for a couple of late end of the year events. Minecart Metas in Gem Grab, Backyard Ball in Brawl Ball, Dry Season in Bounty, Pit Stop for Heist, and last but not least, Factory Rush for Siege. This is what we are looking at for the maps and modes between EXO and Activium. Minecart Madness, to kick things off, definitely an interesting map. It's one of the most complicated maps to play, right? And usually that is going to be in the advantage of the better team, just because of the skill gap. This is just a map where you need to focus a lot. You need to have your rotations on point, synced up with the minecart, and try to make the most out of that minecart, right? I think that teamwork is going to be very, very important. So this is where maybe Activium could have a slight edge, just because they've been playing together for a little longer as this three-man roster, I believe. But on the other hand, EXO is EXO, right? They've played together for quite a while already, especially Curse and YD. So that's a dynamic duo that I'm looking at quite particularly for this matchup. Let's see what our bans are. We have Lola banned by EXO. We have the Bell ban coming through from Activium. So far, nothing too surprising, to be fair. I think Lola is still really, really strong, still not nerfed, so it makes sense for EXO to ban it out. It is a brawler that can literally just beam someone from afar when you have your clone besides you. On the side of Bell, I think Bell is in a really good place. I don't think it's the flashiest brawler, or, you know, the kind of brawler where they're like, oh my god, it's so broken, but it's been consistently good ever since its release. So I think it makes sense to get it out of the way, especially if you think that you can piper diff your opponents on those more open maps. Mortis is going to be banned by EXO next. That is an interesting one. I mean, you know, we know YD and his Mortis, but at the same time, Mortis is a brawler that can turn around games just by himself. And you might want to remove that from your opponent's hands. Just make sure that, you know, that they don't have that game-changing factor available. Gene is kind of similar, right? In a way, if you can pull the gem carrier or get that one clutch pull, it can go a long way. And XO, they played quite a bit of Gene throughout the year, so fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think, you know, most of those bans are the necessarily the flashiest brawler. Some of them are, right? But I think a lot of them are just removing some of you know, those staple brawlers that we've seen in the meta for so long, and not necessarily in the most broken plays, but in a very much playable plays. So I'm fine with it. I really am. I really am. I think this is setting up a nice match, and I think Activium are gonna have to be really careful here. This is a tough matchup for them. Surely they've come in really prepared, and this is one of the small advantages of underdog teams, right? Usually they might be a little bit more committed to winning those sort of matches, because for them it's a huge opportunity, right? And they might put in a little bit more research because they know that they are the underdogs and that on paper they're supposed to be losing this match. XO, on the other hand, we'll have to see, you know, how much they did get to prepare, how ready they are for a matchup like this. And even though I said in theory XO should be quite easily taking this, I said as well at Activium, I feel like they have the potential to do something, but they need everything to be going their way, right? They need to be playing at their highest level, and they need XO to be struggling, and it's a lot of conditions that need to be present for Activium to win this match, but they are conditions that are possible. They're just unlikely. That's pretty much where I stand. Kurt's been screaming a lot with Dean and Joker, probably in your roster 2022. I've heard of that. I don't know how much that means. I mean, a lot of people are screaming with a lot of people, right? So I'm not sure. Viper and Byron, the best two mid I'm seeing. That's a fair point. I mean, I think it depends a lot on the map, right? For Minecart Madness, you can go with a lot of stuff, man. You can really go for a lot of stuff. Teddy Nice Time Merch, is there your favorite team? Actually, at Worlds, I got a ton of merch, like a ton. I have like 7 different jerseys, something like that I got from Worlds. So I'll be rotating them over once in a while, not during the broadcast probably, but in general. I can try to have one different one for every day of the group stage of GameStars. So I'll make sure to, you know, balance it out. But no, I don't really have a favorite team. I'm not really nearly as biased as some people would like to think. And I was thinking, which jersey should I put on? I thought Stamina are not playing in GameStars EU, right? So might as well put their jersey on, so there is no bias whatsoever. Because if I put an AQM jersey and AQM are playing, I know what chat is going to be talking about. I know what they're going to be talking about. I think XO will win. I think in theory they should, Karim. I think they should. But we've been surprised before. So there's definitely options. Pick-wise for Minecart Madness. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like Sandy is in a pretty good place. You could even bring in something like a Sprout. I do like a Sprout quite a bit myself. Pro, I like quite a bit here as well. Even Pam can do some solid work. Mid it's a bit tougher, right? I feel like Belle is very solid here, and if you don't go Belle, it's probably low life. She's not banned. So I think those two bans together makes things maybe a little more interesting. I don't know if Byron is the go-to for mid. Maybe if you yeah, I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. I'm curious to see what they come up with. I'm sure they have a lot of ideas, and I want to see if they conflict with mine or with you guys in chat. We should be getting into game very shortly, guys. So we will be getting into our first match soon enough. And I'm looking forward to see some XO action. I really am. It's been a while for me. I've missed them. I got to meet Cursed, NYD, and a Shield as well, actually. I've met all of them in Bucharest 2 weeks ago. A little over 2 weeks ago, actually. It was a lot of fun. Great guys. I see yesterday's vote came into effect today. Well, I was thinking that the only person that replied to my question said STMN, and I thought as well, if possible, I get jerseys on that are not, you know, from any of the teams that are competing, so that there's no, like, you know, SK jersey guy casting SK. Seems kind of sus to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it seems easy enough. I'll try to get a couple different ones on the stream for the end of the group stage. One vote does work. It seems like it does. Seems like it does. I was pretty proud of my little statement yesterday, where the guy said, yeah, one vote is enough, like it's democracy or something like that. I was like, if there's only one people voting, probably that's not exactly how democracy works, right? But anyways, guys, we got a game, so let's hop in. And we see the max min. I do like that quite a bit, actually, from a shield, especially against a team that you should assume are less good at the game than you are. Max is a good way to try to div that. And we got the Meg as well, which is definitely going to be an interesting pick. It is a strong brawler. And Spike on YD could do a lot of damage to the Rosa, the Pam, the Buzz. It's a great counter pick as well. So far, I do prefer the comp from EXO a little bit, although Activium have the better start. Alright, push forward from Cursed. It's gonna be missing his super, but all good. Gets a nice angle on the right side. Aggression from Archer, but gets punished for it. They're able to deal with that aggression. Five gems on each side. Arturo goes down. A shield. Still in the mid, trying to solidify the gem economy, and it's starting to look pretty good for EXO on 8 gems. Orlando's is able to find a kill onto Curse. It's going to be opening up quite a bit of space. They get an extra gem from that as well, which is going to be tying things up for Activium now. And as they have quite a bit of middle control, EXO need to be strong on that retake. Healing station out of the way. Spike super coming in, and Arturo goes for the stun onto Curse. Is going to get that kill as well, relieving some of that pressure. But is that going to be enough? Arturo still has that super available. Goes for the stun against the wall. Connects onto YD through the wall. And takes him down. Arturo been putting in a lot of work. But he does eventually go down. Only the 1 gem difference. But it does get picked up. And that means that now EXO, they need to move up. They find a kill, which means that they could also just go for the gem reset. But YD grabs the gems. And that's a very nice opportunity that he spotted, because now they have that countdown, a countdown that cannot be interrupted, and that should be about enough for EXO to take game 1. Definitely not a smooth ride, guys. Definitely not a smooth ride for that first game, but a win is a win, and that's a good way to start. But yeah, I mentioned it earlier, guys. I thought Activium could give EXO some trouble. They certainly did in this game. It was close. It was very close. We had some tight countdowns and all that stuff, right? But EXO were able, you know, in the long run to make things shine. So I think they did all right. I mean, it's not as convincing as I would have hoped for, but as I said, a win is a win, and EXO gotta try to build up from that. I don't know how much they've scrimmed together or practiced together. So it's definitely a very different setting than you know, a team that has been playing together for a very long time. But they do take that first game, and ultimately that's what matters. I think we should ban that Saitem guy from Brawl Esports. He is cracked. He is really good. He is really good. I mean, all of Zeta are, you know. When I was in Bucharest, everyone was just saying Zeta are a whole different breed, and they certainly were. They certainly were. I think it's hard to judge for, you know, a single brawler who is better than who. To be fair, especially since KC isn't really competing at the moment. So I think it's hard to really make the comparison. The opposing team is good. I think Activium are really good, definitely. Is it best of 3, best of 3? No, it is best of 5, best of 3, Panda. Best of 5 sets, best of 3 games. What in the Shield team gives me flashbacks. Me too, man. Me too. I remember their match in the quarterfinals of Worlds 2020, where they played against Code Magic. So against Cursed, actually, right? And they had a really cool comeback. Really cool comeback. It's one of the matches I enjoyed the most from last year. But moving on to game 2, we have the same comp coming in from XO and Activium going for the mirror matchup. And that's not really a sign of confidence, I would say. I mean, yeah, it depends how you want to read it, right? In a way, they're willing to go for a mirror matchup, which shows that they're willing to, you know, go in a situation that doesn't really give them any of those natural advantages and outcomes. On the other hand, most likely, XO are better with this comp. So far, it seems to be the latter rather than the former, as Activium are struggling to find much control. Shield and 7 gems. Arturo trying to find some value, but he does get thanks quite low HP, about to lose his mag. And that means there's going to be a big weakness in Activium's mid-hold. So far, XO still ahead in gems, not by quite as much of a lead. Countdown for Activium. XO need to clutch up. Can they interrupt? They're close to it. They do manage to stop the countdown, but seems to be just delaying the inevitable for now, as Activium are back with another countdown, and this one is going to be a lot harder to stop. They need that kill on the spike. 5 seconds left. It doesn't seem like it's going to be coming true, and indeed Activium managed to tie things up here. And that's 1-1, guys. Just like that. Just like that. I'm having a lot of lag, guys, so sorry if I'm missing some of the action, trying to cast it as good as I can. But it's definitely not ideal for me right now. But yeah, Activium looking good, man. Looking good. Clutch game from their side, especially considering it's a mirror matchup. That's where XO might have to ask themselves a couple of questions, right? This is not really something that is supposed to be happening in a mirror matchup, but it did, and now they got to deal with it, find a way to deal with Activium before they drop that first set, because that first set is going to be very, very important for both sides, to be honest. I think in underdog stories, it very often is. That your Twitch streams when more off season, please. I will try to be streaming more, but I got a lot of stuff to work with at the moment. So it's not planned for right now. It's not planned for right now, but as soon as I have more time, it's definitely something I want to be doing more. What's up, Wiggly? How are you doing, man? How are you doing? Also, man, him in Bucharest. It was very nice meeting you, man. What's up, XD Games? How you doing? I mean, I told you guys, Activium have a lot of potential. It doesn't feel like, you know, I'd be doing my job if I told you that this was a fair match and that they have a fair shot at winning this match. But they do have a shot at winning this match. And so far, they're showing the signs of life that we need to see for me to believe that maybe something could be happening here. But we need more. We need a lot more. A single game is not really gonna, you know, mean too much, except, as I said, some signs of life, some you know, directives that this could be happening. But until it is, I'm I'm still gonna be more on the EXO side of things, right? All right, game 3, the decider for this gem grab set. And the chance for Activium to hit hard. Safe did go for the Sandy, and he got punished really early on for that over-aggression. Didn't really have much cover to work with. A lot of aggression from EXO though, as they take the right lane and mid firmly under control. And I like that they went for the Byron change. I think it might be working a little bit better with that comp overall. I mean, although Max is a great idea as well. Chris does have his super, but he should be losing his mech before he can actually get to use it. Shield and 7 gems, a big lead for EXO, but we saw in the previous game that having that early lead does not necessarily mean you're gonna actually take the game. And Activium so far coming back very strongly again, but they do lose Orlando's on the right hand side. And now Safe is next to full. Arturo is in a very tough position, should be getting melted down, and he certainly will. Cursed is a slap, but doesn't connect onto Orlando, just gets the cactus out of the way. 9 gems for EXO, just need that one more. Cursed won't be the one to pick it up, but he takes a lot of damage, might end up going down, but he doesn't for now. And now he has the mech available. This is gonna be hard to stop for Activium. Only Safe left alive, and there's no way for him to shut that countdown down. EXO will be securing the set in the end, but it took a little more effort than I expected. I feel you, Wiggly Spoo. I feel you, man. Literally the same here as well. And I may have had the very bad idea of like postponing a lot of stuff I had to do before going to Worlds. So when I came back, not only was it like, you know, a big difference between being at World and being home, it was also a lot of stuff that I had to do and figure out that I really was pushing away as much as I could. So the difference was very drastic. But that's, you know, normal post-event depression, right? or sadness would be the more appropriate term. EXO looking much better in that game. Much better. And it's a good sign. At least for them. And Activium gonna be a bit less happy because this was their chance to really make something happen. But sadly, they couldn't really figure it out. They had some chances here and there. It felt like they were starting a bit of a comeback around the middle of that game, but in the end, it was too tough. And that's the thing. I said so many conditions need to be going their way, right? But here as well, they were constantly losing at least one lane, and then the rest of the team has to kind of adapt and overcompensate. Overextend to still keep some signs of control, because the gem count was already too high for EXO, so they couldn't just fall back and wait for their teammate to respawn. Now, if they do that, they lose the entirety of the map control, and they give a free countdown to EXO. They had to figure something out, went for a bit of aggression, and they got punished for it. So it was a good attempt. I think it was a good call as well. It was just a situation where you need your mechanics to be absolutely on point. You need to win a duel somewhere to open things up, and that just wasn't really the case. Very big difference in the end for the set in kills and in damage. EXO free agents just looking like the better team, as they rightly should. But Activium have shown some signs of life. So maybe if they get to a game mode where they're better at, or more comfortable, where EXO struggles a bit more, they could have an actual shot at making some real damage. And with real damage, I mean actually taking a set, right? Robo is starting. And let's see if this can be a different story for Activium. I like the comps on both sides. Some fairly standard stuff. A couple of brawlers trying to predict some tanks maybe coming in. So we have the spike on both sides and the B for Activium. So far, a bit of a stalemate. Playing around the middle. And getting some kills here and there, but not really enough to make it a push just yet until now. Perhaps Arturo is low HP. No idea is going to be trying to deal with that angle. Doesn't really find all that much so far. The push is strong from XO. They get the team wipe at last. And they are able to score it up as XO take the lead. A minute left on the clock for Activium to answer. Quite a bit of aggression from XO. They're pushing forward, get the opening kill. Have some space to work with. Can they find that second goal? The shield was an opening kill on Orlando's. Safe. It's tanked up quite a bit. Needs to be careful. Hit of poison could be really troublesome here, and it will be indeed. Drops down to 500 HP just as he started healing up. Orlando's finds the kill on YDE. He's down to 200 HP. Charge shot. Can it go in? No. Cursed is there, and Cursed denies the goal from Activium. That was close, but XO still keep it under control. Barely, but they do. And this is where Activium need to start finding a solution, right? They're not just behind by a set, but behind by a game in the second set as well. And now they're just a game away from giving a second set to XO. And that's where I start, telling you guys that I don't really believe in the underdog story anymore, because reverse sweeping the favorite of a match, favorite of a group, to be fair, that's tough. That's definitely tough. Just in general, pulling off a reverse sweep, you need a lot of experience. You need to be able to remain extremely cool and confident and just in a good, positive attitude as a team. And that requires a lot of experience. It really does, and Activium don't necessarily have that experience. And XO should be ready to shut down those sort of comebacks. So it's a little scary for Activium now. It's 2 games in a row that they drop, and if they make it 3 in a row, that's a set, man. That's a set. Yeah, I haven't read your tweet longer yet, Wiggly Spoo. I'll try to check it out later if I have time. If I remember, mostly. When it's trying playing in the future, they should be playing in the international final, that someone else said in chat. So that is not this week, but the next one. I don't have the exact date yet of when their next match is. It would not have been a goal regardless. I think it would have been. I mean, I am having a lot of lag, so I might be wrong, but it felt like it was a shot on goal, but maybe not. Maybe not. It was close. It was definitely close, though. But it was tough. There wasn't really anything else he could have done there, That's the thing with Frank, right? Because you need to stop moving to attack. He spent a lot of time just attacking and not moving, and that extra time, if you had any other brawler that can move while attacking, that could have been a goal, because the timing would have been better. But it is the compromise you need to make with Frank. All right, Arturo goes down very early on as he went for a gadget push, and oh, actually it's an open goal. Okay, I mean, that's a way to start for XO. 15 seconds in, they score. Arturo, a nice stun on his shield, but still gets punished and taken out. Landos is pushing forward though, and can they? Oh no, that was so close again. Orlando is almost scoring for Activium, but XO and Curse specifically shuts it down twice now. And when I said that everything needed to go Activium's way, there was a couple of moments they hurt for them, because they know that there are opportunities that they won't have every day, and they need to seize them while they can. Oh, that was a miss pull from Arturo. I think he supered the boxes in front of him. That's not ideal. Oh, what a play from Arturo. Now Ishio goes for the super. He just goes right through it and picks up the kill. Walls opened up. Arturo pushing forwards, gets shut down. Orlando's gets melted down as well. YD looking to clean out the rest of the team as Safe is next to full. Cursed with the super and doesn't quite manage to score just yet, but he will be able to tank it through Invisi-Heal, helping out there as well to keep him alive. And that's already said too. Just like that, guys. Just like that. I do not understand your question, Finch. I don't understand what you mean. What do you think of Cerulean coming back in 2022? Do you think the former world champion will perform good? I'm not sure. I mean, he's a friend of mine. I like Cerulean quite a bit. So I'm only wishing him the utmost success for this year. But I don't know. I mean, it's been a while for him since he played competitive, and for the most part of his competitive career, he wasn't exactly, you know, playing the world champion level, in my opinion. Because obviously, I mean, he won Worlds 2019, but that was only like 2 months of esports, right? And after that, in 2020, from everything I've seen, it wasn't best play in the world kind of gameplay. It wasn't the best team in the world either, so I'm not sure. I hope he will. I think it would shut down some haters as well, and it would be a good thing. So I'm genuinely cheering for his success, but in the end, it all depends on how much he works for it and how much talent he has. That's pretty much it, you know. I wouldn't take, like, I think the whole world champion thing is kind of more hype than actual, like, statements for regarding how good he's gonna be when he comes back. The game has changed a lot, and we'll see how well he adapted. That's pretty much my statement. Stat-wise, not too much to say. This is a stomp. This Brawl set was pretty much a stomp here. XO looking better and better, and they might need it. I mean, if they face, which would be likely, a team like Final Stand next up, I feel like Final Stand are better than Activium. So I think that they need to be at least warmed up, or at least it will decrease the chances of an upset. Dry Season is going to be up next, so we can expect some throwers, maybe especially with the Mortis ban, but we could also just see something like a Poco double tank, you know, with Buzz being played a lot in a setting like this. It's definitely possible. I do stream on Twitch, but this is not my stream. This is GameStars, and I am merely casting it. So I do not decide where it is streamed. I do not have that power. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that work on projects like this and on you know, those third-party events. So I'm the furthest from able of making decisions like that. All right, so far Blue Star picked up by XO. Nothing too crazy comp-wise. I think that Tick is pretty much a must in those conditions. I think that Ruffs is a very good call as well. And then Leon versus Piper keeps things fresh on both sides, as they show us some different philosophies and ways to approach the game here. Safe is in a very, very tough spot. He should be able to survive it, and he will indeed, but with that flank from Curse coming true, he still is able to find that kill. Makes it a double, in fact. And he does ultimately decide to pull out. Just stay safe. Don't want to be giving away 4 stars. That would make it go from a 5-star lead to just a 1 star. That's a bit more dangerous. It's gonna be Spam Fiesta for the ticks. But so far, Activium do not have an answer. But they need one rather soon here. 10 seconds left. And they need to find multiple kills. And Cursed has to go down for them to stand a chance. But he's going to get yet another kill instead. And it's going to be a flawless game there from XO. Not dropping a single death as they get to match point. Just a single game away from moving on to the finals of this group. Lars, how are you doing, man? The group is obviously XO and Activium, and then there's also Golden Age and Final Stand Esports. That is the group for you. I don't think there are commands in chat, so I am the command bot from now on. Chris popping off on Leon, he certainly was. He certainly was. Weird match, didn't seem XO were in full potential. I mean, you have to keep in mind as well that they are not necessarily like a long-term roster that is heavily invested in playing together anymore. So it's a different setting than the XO we saw for the most part of the year. At least that's how I read it. And I think that Activium were playing really well in Gem Grab, but they narrowly lost it. And then in Brawl, I think they got their hopes kind of shut down. So here in Bounty was just like, you know, they felt pretty hopeless, I think. So we'll see if they have any way to react. But it needs to be now. It needs to be now. There's no other choice anymore. It's match point, right? They can't afford to lose any other games. Although, once again, you know, when you're the underdog in a matchup like this, and it is a double elimination bracket for the group, I think that Activium realistically expected to lose that first match and have to go through the loser bracket. This is what I said yesterday as well for a couple of teams, right? You're facing something like AQM or XO first round. You don't go in there thinking we are winning this match. It's like, if you win it, great. That's a huge, huge achievement. If you don't, it's fine. You still have that extra life, and you should probably even prepare more for that than for this match particularly, at least if you want to increase your chances of making it to the international playoffs, to the international finals. But here we go. Blue Star gets picked up by Activium this time around, so we are going to have a very different mechanic to start off here. So far, we do have a lot of control, and this is the difference between XO's retake and Activium's. Is XO, they go in very aggressively. They have so much control. They destroyed parts of the map already, and they just want to try to trap Activium in and punish them. But so far, it's not paying off just yet. And that one kill was found onto YD. Couple of angles available, but they don't really have too many opportunities just yet. Is Curse not spotted in that push? He's been patient, but the patience doesn't seem to be paying off. Arturo survives with 41 HP. That is definitely tough. As Activium rise up to 5 stars now. Next, so we got 20 seconds to work with. 15 seconds left. The final countdown starts. There's no way Arturo survives that. Thing is, it's only 2 stars making the difference. If they can find a kill on safe, they can still turn this around, but they need him to go down or the 2 other players. That's the 1 kill that starts off. There is the trade, and that means that Activium are not done fighting just yet. 1-1 in this bounty set. I mean, there's still 2 sets behind, right? Let's not get our hopes up yet for Activium, but once again, they're taking some games here and there, you know, and it's some good signs from their roster. But nevertheless, it is match point still for EXO, a single game away from straight up knocking Activium out of that upper bracket. The SCMN jersey looking sweet back there. Thank you, Ash. I got quite a couple of those jerseys. We'll be trying to swap them out throughout different casts I get to do to have a bit more variety behind, right? I like that, you know, one little element of the background that changes consistently. I think that's kind of cool. Yes, I was about to say that. Well, the SCMN jersey is really, really cool. It is. I think the one that looks the best, in my opinion, that I have is the Aphelion one. Aphelion. I like their jerseys a lot. They look really cool. I like their branding in general quite a bit, actually. Did you think Sky in general will keep that hashtag 1EU spot in 2022? Maybe. I mean, with Luna and the roster, they definitely have what it takes to be #1 in Europe. But you know, it's definitely, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. There's always going to be, you know, a change that you need to adjust to, right, when you bring a new player in. But at the same time, it is Lena. It is a really good player. So I think they have the potential to be #1. I don't know if they will be, though. There's a lot of competition. I mean, Clash, Tribe, Totem, they've been all playing really, really well throughout the year. So EMEA, despite the World Finals results, is still the most competitive region. It just didn't have the most competitive team at Worlds, if that makes any sense. That's kind of my take on it, but maybe some people disagree. What's up, Angel? How you doing, my guy? Good to see you, man. Are you competing? I remember you guys did play in season 1. Bands, we had Lola, Jean, Belle, and Mortis. Those were your four bands. All right, match point still for EXO. It is a set point for Activium as well, and the blue star was picked up by Activium. So EXO need to go on the hunt, but this is gonna be a tough comp for EXO to face. I feel like they might struggle against this many tanks. There's only one way to find out safe with some aggression. Does take a lot of damage, but survives, and that keeps that artificial lead up for Activium from the blue star. So far, a bit of a stalemate, but the advantage remains on Activium's side. Orlando is going for a gadget shot, does not connect. Arturo has his super available as well, so we're gonna have to be very careful about that. Don't want to give away some more stars, but Activium don't want to overcommit either. That ticket is gonna do a lot of damage, and that's the kill from YD. Opening for EXO. I know Activium are gonna have to put in the work if they want to come back. Archer is up close against YDE, but it's gonna be kind of annoying to deal with that tick head, and YDE gets yet another kill. The tank killer on that tick. And so far, it seems to be working out great for EXO. It's not over yet. If YDE were to go down, that could make or break the game for either team. Orlando's in a really good position, goes for the stun, but actually the supply drop from Michelle proactively denies him from connecting that super. That was a beautiful counterplay from Michelle, and that is GG's, guys. EXO take the 3-0 victory in sets. Not a perfect clean sweep. They dropped 2 games, one in Gem Grab, one here in Bounty, but overall still a very comfortable win, right? Maybe not. I think that why I'm getting this feeling of underwhelming performance from EXO might be because I expected an even more dominant performance, but all things considered, it is a dominant performance. Octavium going to be dropping down to the lower bracket as EXO proceed to the winner match. They'll be facing the winner between Golden Age and Final Stand up next. We've still got quite a bit of time until then, but there you have it. EXO take out Octavium. Once again, on paper, this is a result we were expecting. It's the result that we got. Maybe the execution was a little bit more sloppy here and there, but there were definitely great moments. This is the play I'm talking about. So Orlando's is pushing forward. He has a super. This is a huge problem. And look at that. Ashiel knows. He puts his supply drop on the only place where Orlando's could go for the super and land it in time. And that denies him from going through the animation and getting that stun through. So a really, really cool play there, I think, from Ashiel, making sure that his entire team is safe, pretty much. I don't know if it would have been enough to take the kills and turn the game around, but I thought that was such a cool play. I really thought that was such a cool play. Stats-wise, I don't think I need to describe that this was, for the most part, a massacre. For the most part. A couple of those games were close. A couple of games did go to the way of Octavium. But if you look at the stats overall, I mean, for the entire match, it's more than double the kills. It's a lot more damage as well. More than double the damage too, you know? So, EXO definitely deserving of that win. I think that a couple of us were just expecting an even better performance from their side, but it doesn't take away the fact that they did win this, and they look, for the most part, pretty good doing it. The supply drop, man, the supply drop was huge. It was huge. It really was. I think the game could have been turned around otherwise. I really think so. I mean, we'd have to dissect exactly, you know, what was going on, but it was a good one. It was a good one. All right, guys, we are going to be moving on to match number 2 in a couple of minutes, just after a short break. Be right back. Hello everybody, my name is Teddy, and in this section we will go through some peculiarities of Brawl Stars. Let's see what I've got for you. In this episode, I will give you some tips and tricks for the Brawler Tick. Tick may not be the flashiest brawler, but he's consistently been one of the most played brawlers in competitive ever since his release. Tick offers a versatile kit that will help improve almost any comp. You'll see him being played a lot in Bounty and Hot Zone, but honestly, he's playable on any mode. Tick can be extremely annoying to deal with, and his super can help create a lot of space for himself and his team. One of Tick's biggest weaknesses is up close, and yet he still has a surprising amount of utility to deal with those close range fights. His super will keep any tanks far away, as well as his last hurrah gadget that enables him to survive for long amounts of time and knock back his opponents, punishing anyone that enters in his range. He's great at keeping control of areas and constantly harassing your opponents. That's all for today. I believe that my tips and tricks will help you improve your performance. Brawlers, join our stream and watch how real professionals get it done. All right, welcome back, everyone. That's one match behind us. We got 3 more to go today. Let's get through this one as well. Final Stand versus Golden Age. Really excited. I love Final Stand. It's one of the teams that has been in Tier 2 for pretty much the entire year. But once in a while, they cause some trouble against Tier 1 with some upsets and some great stories. Love watching those guys play. Golden Age, it's one of the teams I underestimated last season. Although they didn't really go very far, I expected them to perform a lot worse than they did. So always open for some surprises. Although on paper, I do feel like Final Stand should have this in the bag. We've had upsets, not too many so far, but they happen once in a while, and this could be one of those stories. But I'm very excited about this matchup right here. As you can see from the results from earlier, Activium lost trio to EXO Free Agents, which means they're dropping down to the elimination bracket, whereas EXO, they are moving on to the winners match and have a shot at qualifying straight up for the international finals at the end of this day. It's a pretty good group. It's a pretty good group. It's maybe not the most stacked one, but there are some teams that can give us some really, really good matches. So I'm excited to see the end result of the group. So far, things are going pretty much as expected. Let's see if Final Stand versus Golden Age can perhaps turn that around. Here are your maps and modes. Hot Potato for Heist, Layer Cake for Bounty, Sneaky Fields in Brawl Ball, Bomb Drop for Siege, Gem Fort for Gem Grab. This is what we're going to see those guys battle on. Hot Potato, to kick things off, is it's a lovely map. I mean, Rico is one of the most dominant brawlers here. You can play him really well mid, but even on both lanes, maybe something like a Barley could be great on the sides as well. Those are some of the staple brawlers of this map, but in mid, for example, we have a lot of other variations as well. We see some Colettes being played once in a while. On the lane, we can also see something like a Ruffs being played too, or even a Spike. So options are there. Looking forward to see what the banning process looks like for those two teams and what they decide to leave in or out to be played for this matchup. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to see Golden Age play. It's been a while. I'm always curious, you know, when you have shows like this that have multiple seasons, to see some teams improve from one season to the other, especially since the last time I've watched them was probably around May or something along those lines. So it's been a while. It's definitely been a while, and they've had time to work and get better at the game, but we'll see if they did. Harassing the opponent, nice guy, to be ready to come with it and to play Tick and lose my sanity. I think Tick is actually a decent amount of fun to play. It's a decent amount of fun to play. It's a strong brawler. That's the thing, you know. That's also why I kind of wanted to talk about Tick, because I feel like it's a brawler that is not super flashy, and it's not like, you know, you're gonna see the most exciting plays with Tick, but it's in a lot of different comps on a lot of different maps. You see it a lot, man. And it's been consistently a very strong brawler. I think we can't show the bans to you guys, but I can read them out to you. Final Stand are going to be banning Poco and Lola, and Golden Age are going to be banning Poco and Lola as well, I think. So we only have 2 bans, which is pretty rare considering there's over 50 brawlers in the game. So interesting. Double Poco ban, double Lola ban. I'm not too sure what to make out of that. I'm really not. This is going to leave a lot of stuff open. I mean, you know, Mortis, Buzz, Bell, those brawlers are all going to be in the mix. Absolutely available to play for both sides. I'm curious, man. I'm curious. I feel like on paper, this should be a trio sweep. If I had to go for a prediction, I would say this should be a trio sweep for Final Stand. And I would be surprised to see Golden Age win a single game. But that is from the form of Golden Age that I've seen in May. Who knows what's happened since then, right? Who knows how much they've practiced, scrimmed, and improved? I don't. That's the thing, I don't. Checking out rosters for you guys. Let me go through that real quick. So, for Final Stand, we have Kanan, Tom, and I believe Sinks, but usually I play with G-Gem, so I'm not entirely sure if he is going to be playing or not. But there's only one way to find out. Golden Age is Sterling, Nona, and Shirtnock. So 2 players from Kazakhstan, 1 from Russia. So in a very different part of the continent. Looking forward to see all those guys compete. And I'm honestly not sure who is who again for both teams. I haven't seen the face of the players too much. But that's one of the things I mentioned yesterday as well, right? I love to see the face of some of those players that I haven't really seen too much yet. It's a lot of fun. Is that Bobby's jersey, Teddy? It is not, actually. The owner of STMN just gave me a jersey. I can't believe I'm playing. Oh my god, you are actually playing Sinks. Oh my, would you be able to explain in chat why you play over G-Gem for the event? Like, I have no inside information whatsoever. Like, I don't know if he's, you know, in exam spirit or something like that, or if he's dropped from the roster. I genuinely have no clue. So I'd be loving to get some more insights for that reason, because I think G-Gem is a really good player. I do think he's a really good player. But not taking anything away from the rest of the team, I think that they're really, really strong at the game for sure as well. Absolutely they are. Absolutely they are. And so Cyclone is not playing with the team anymore either, right? That's been a longer time, since a longer time already, right? Fang sneak peeks. Oh my god, the super is insane. Fang looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It kind of feels like a Lee Sin from League of Legends, if I said that correctly. I am definitely not a League of Legends fan, so I don't know all that much about it, but it reminds me of him, kind of. Yo, what's up, Aug? Nice to see you. Coach, ex-coach for Na'Vi, rather. The second best team in the world, I guess, from the world's results, so make sure you guys say hi to him. He is a goat. He is a goat. I always feel bad telling people to say hi. I feel like that makes no sense. I wasn't too sure where my sentence was going, so I kind of improvised with it. Why don't I stream on Twitch? I do not know that. I can ask. I can ask. But that will wait for after stream. All right, but yeah, I think I've kind of summed up most of my thoughts for this matchup. Should be pretty one-sided for Final Stand, but I'm looking forward to see how much progress Golden Age have made, and if possibly it's enough progress to take down a team like Final Stand. I think it should be, on paper, a hard match for Golden Age. It should be. G-Gem is such a joke, man, that he didn't want to face reveal, but also he had exams. I was thinking as well, like, there's no way that G-Gem face reveals. because he's just that ugly. I'm just kidding. Denny Feast reveals a week after the media deadline. No way. No way. I did not see that, actually. I did not see that. I've actually seen him before, though. I've seen him before. We've like kind of like FaceTime a couple of times back in the Scrims Blue days. Those were the good old days. They really were. All right, guys. Looks like we got a game. And we're hopping straight into it. Interesting comms. Rosa is not a brawler we see here a lot, but it is a fun approach. Already 2 gadgets popped, though, for those bushes to be placed there. They're not going to pick up the kill, and this is looking like a pretty decent start, actually, on the sides of Golden Age. They're finding a lot of damage. They're finding a lot of damage. That first initial push, that's 42% damage dealt. All right. A good way to start here, and a very interesting comp from Golden Age, but it seems to be working out so far. They haven't been really able to find a response on the sides of Final Stand. Shirt Knock on save, going to be dealing more damage. And although slowly Final Stand have been catching up, they got a lot of work to do. This is definitely not the start they were hoping for. Tom is able to get a nice kill. Sinks finds Nona. Shirt Knock forced to push on the right side. Actually not going to commit. Will be falling back. Nona goes for the dash in. Gets melted down before he can do anything. Seems like slowly but surely Final Stand have been getting the situation back under control. Oh, great gadget from Kanan. Finds a lot of value. Sinks looking for Sterling. Should be getting taken out, but he's going to TP back to safety. Want to stay on that stage 4, and I respect that. I respect that. Tom was a kill. Still an 18% lead. And now Nona has a free super on save. That's going to be a lot of damage pouring down. Kanan trying to deal with it as good as he can. But it's definitely not easy. No gadgets left for Kanan. And that means that a Rosa up close is going to be certain death. Sinks not exactly in the best spot either. Still wins his lane. And Stomp gets shut down once more. And this is looking pretty dire for Final Stand. 2% left, and that's the final shot from Sterling. Golden Age take the first game against Final Stand. Okay. It's an interesting way to start. I told you guys, I thought this should be a pretty easy win for Final Stand. But it does seem like Golden Age have something to say about that. And so far, the first game looked really good on their side. I really enjoyed that comp with Rosa. It's a brawler you never see on this map, at least really rarely. With that gadget as well, it's a lot of bushes. It's a lot of bushes and no destruction for Final Stand. That means no way to do anything about it, really. Okay, that is an interesting way to start things off. What are the bans? The bans are Poco and Lola. They are double banned by both teams. It's blind bans, right? So definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. Did not really see that coming, but props to Golden Age. They played it well. They had a really interesting comp, and it paid off. It definitely paid off. Golden Knight and Clash Royale has the same ability as Fang. I don't know. Wait, the Golden Knight, is that one of the like champions or like heroes or whatever they're called in Clash Royale? I haven't had any of them yet. I'm level 12 on Clash Royale, so I still have a grind before or 11 maybe even. I think I just got 12, so I still have a grind until I get those guys. So I'm not exactly sure what they do. But it's not the most complicated mechanic, right? It's basically a dash to an opponent. There's a lot of characters in a lot of different games that do stuff like that. It's nothing too new, but I think it can work well in Brawl Stars. I think it's gonna be the kind of brawlers that can be very hard to balance, because it can be either too strong or too weak. I'm not sure how easily they can just balance it. But I love the regular attack from Fang as well. Like the kick and the fact that you can get some tags from afar and stuff like that. It's really cool. All right, we see the Rosa coming from Sinks as well. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know what is happening to the other people in Golden Age. Yeah, Kanan was AFK. Did someone pick a ban Brawler? Or did they just lag out or something? I don't know what's going on, guys. As far as I know, the bans are lowland Poco. So, who knows what is happening right now? I'm assuming something is happening, but I don't really know what. I don't really know what. Maybe production will have some more insights, but right now I'm not entirely sure what happened there. What's up, YD? How you doing? GG's for your first match against Activium. Are you reading? I am reading. I'm reading. There is a lot of delay though, so don't be surprised if it takes a minute or so before you hear me replying to you guys, but there is quite a bit of delay. All right, I'll be waiting for an actual update regarding what happened there, because as I said, as far as I know, the bans are Poco and Nola, so I didn't see either of those. G-Gem. Okay, a player from Golden Age is lagging. That is what I'm hearing. I don't know if that means that they still win the game on final stand side of things, or if it's a rematch, or what is the plan. Rematch. Okay, rematch is the plan. Rematch is the plan. But yeah, G-Gem, why are you not playing, man? Come on. You want that Teddy bias. You want that Teddy bias. It's not there anymore. I'm not biased for Final Stand anymore. I'm only biased for G-Gem. You betrayed your teammates. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. But yeah, it sounds like this is going to be a rematch because a player from Golden Age was having some connectivity issues. So we should be getting back to it really soon. Servers, that could be it. There were a lot of problems with, if I understood things correctly, but I didn't really look deeper into it, like the Amazon server lines, which means that everything that is based on those servers is going to be lagging like crazy. Brawl Stars happens to be one of them, I believe, but also obviously Twitch, you know, since they are owned by Amazon, they use their servers too. And a lot of other games and websites that use Amazon, because they have really good servers in general. They just once in a while completely die. This seems to be one of those moments. I was kind of scared that it wouldn't be impacting events, because there's a couple of community events today. But as far as I know, it's not been too bad until now. All right. Game 2 for real now. Let's see how this is going to be working out. As final stand are definitely left disappointed, but Kanan gets shut down before he can do pretty much anything. So far, no damage on save whatsoever, but Tom looking to put a change to that, has his super available. Not using it yet, though, waiting to try to maybe force out some utility before that, or sync up a little bit better with his teammates. Interesting decisions from Noda to just straight up not really use the buffs on his team. Although Sterling was the silver skin, not entirely sure if he is buffed up or not. Shortnock was, I believe. So far, still no damage though. A minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, and both teams have yet to get anywhere close to any saves. This could be the first 6 of damage. Yeah, 2% dealt there. Make it 17 as Tom dashes in. Shortnock finds the elimination onto Sinks. And a couple of ticks of damage will be connecting on save. Tom in a bad spot for the least, as he gets shut down by Sterling. And Final Stand have a chance at catching up now. Shortnock goes for the super. Does find the kill. Nona actually gets the finishing blow, but Result is the same, only a 6% lead for final stand. That's definitely not comfortable, as Golden Age could be stealing this game and therefore take that set. Sinks chaining supers, but not really able to do all that much with this low HP. Some nice damage from Kanan, and that should put Final Stand in a bit more of a comfortable spot, although it might be that final push from Golden Age that could be problematic. Damage is connecting, but I don't think it's gonna be nearly enough. It's quite close, 8% only, but Final Stand do take this game, and that means that we are all tied up in this first set. So far, much more of a match than I expected. But at the same time, I mean, I thought GGM would be playing instead of Sinks, to be completely honest. And Sinks is not necessarily a competitive player at the moment. I don't have anything against him. I love Sinks, by the way. But he isn't, you know, playing comp at the moment. So obviously the level of play should be a little lower because of that. But so far, I mean, they are just about holding on. Just about holding on. We'll see who takes that first set. Teddy, are you excited for Spider-Man Far From Home? I'm going to watch it today. I did not know it was out yet, actually. I did not know it was out yet. I mean, I've watched the trailers, all that stuff, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I'm looking forward to it, especially if there are some, like, there were some teases that there could be some actors from the older movies, so I'm more excited about that for sure. We'll see how it is. I don't know if I'll get to see it in theaters. Maybe. What's up, Tan mate? How you doing, my guy? I love how GGM got his messages deleted. You love to see it. You love to see it. Probably deserved. All right. Hopefully there will be no more connectivity issues at all for this match or the next match either. But so far, it's a much more even match than I expected. I genuinely thought it was going to be very one-sided for Final Stand. And I am positively surprised by Golden Age again. I underestimated them in Season 1. It seems like I'm underestimating them in Season 2 as well. Although, the match is far from over, so we'll have to see. By the way, guys, in between games, if you guys have any questions you feel like asking me, or anything you want to talk about, make sure you guys hit me up in chat. I am reading it as much as I can, which for the most part means every single message. Especially if we get some downtime between games. There's only so much I can talk about by myself. So having a conversation usually involves multiple people. So if you guys want to be those people, it would be sweet. It would be quite sweet. I'd be grateful for that. The only thing is there's a little bit of delay. That's the thing, right? There's a little bit of delay between when I say something and when you guys actually get to see and hear it. So that's the only thing to take into account. Some because I take a while to reply that I don't. But yeah, I want to know what's up with you guys. I want to know how you guys are feeling about Gears, about the new update that's coming up. The servers are horrible. Yeah. I feel that. I'm not sure, Jim. I genuinely did not see them until they were removed. I think I saw the first message earlier. Probably you were acting up a bit like usual, GGM. What I was told, GGM, is that you were not willing to do the media stuff. But also exams. That is literally what Sink said. He said the media stuff and also exams. I'm finished now? Well, great, GGM. So why are you not playing? And that is the real question. Do you expect SK to win the World Finals? I expected AQM to win the World Finals, actually. Just because of their LAN experience. And that's basically it. But I said from the moment I arrived at Worlds that it's a LAN, everything is possible. Teams have not competed against each other in literal years. In an international, you know, setting. Interregional setting, that's even better. So I said it from the get-go that anything is possible. First match already proved that. One second, guys. Expect SK to win. Yeah, but we've all know how that went. We knew how that went. We did see how that go. Yeah, I was there. I was 10 meters away from them on from them on the stage, you know. I don't know exactly where servers are, Hasney. Sorry. Will draft make tanks useless, as many people are saying? I think that I don't think they're gonna be useless, but it is gonna be harder. It is gonna be harder, for sure. I think there are gonna be some brawlers that are not gonna enjoy draft, but that is what it is with draft. I think that if anything, draft might encourage better balancing and some reworks, straight up for like how some brawlers like function, you know. Because otherwise some of them are just gonna be constantly irrelevant, you know. But at the same time, we have balance changes very often in this game, and I like that a lot. You know, it diversifies the meta, turns it around a little bit. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Teddy, what is your favorite brawler of all time? It's I like a lot of different brawlers, actually. I don't really have one favorite brawler. I would still say probably Sprout, just because I love the mechanics of it, but I also love the art style and what it looks like. But I love Piper as well a lot. I play a lot of Bell at the moment. I play a lot of Stu. I enjoy playing Sandy a lot too. Mostly because I play Power League and I hate facing Sandy. I'm pro draft, yeah. I think draft could be great. Gears feel chaotic at this moment. I think with time it will be fine. For me, this is kind of where I stand with Gears, because I see people saying, yeah, Gears are really bad for the game. I mean, people say that about gadgets too, you know, and they'll say that about anything, because there's changes and they're bad at adapting and you know what I mean. But in the end, I think Gears are a really good idea. I think they work really well with the game. I think that Speed Gear is really broken, and I think it needs some big time nerf, like a huge nerf. I think the other gears are fairly balanced, if not underwhelming, like the healing one, for example, or the resistance one. I don't really see them played a whole lot, you know, so I think those could use some balancing. Thing is with I think that everything related to suppressing stuns and reducing stuns and slows and all that stuff is really underlooked. Like, when do you see the Poco gadget that does that being used? Never. Like, never. So I don't know. I think that there are things like that the community figures out as well, you know, like the anti-heal for Byron, for example. Like, anti-heal was something that no one really cared about, you know. Even in mirror matchups where Byron was the go-to mid and you would always be playing Byron, they were playing Injection and not Melees, and it took some time and some balancing, but also just some time to be like, oh, this is actually really good, and this will win me those mirror matchups if they're not playing it, because the anti-heal is going to be so annoying. Yeah, I see you. I see Sinks. Yeah, that's the thing with the Amazon servers. They're great servers, as far as I know. I mean, I'm not a server expert by any means, right? But from everything I've heard, they have great servers, and they're really good. And also, they're the best option for Brawl Stars because they have a really good connection between continents, especially NA and EU, I think. Because they have like a cable under their sea. I don't know. I don't remember everything. I watched a documentary about it a while back. But they're apparently they're great servers, and they have really good interconnectivity between them and stuff. But guys, it looks like we're gonna have a quick break so we can figure out behind the scenes if we have any solutions. We'll be back as soon as we have news. Thank you for sticking around and for chatting with me. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes. All right. Oh. We are back in game. I was surprised for a second, but we are back in game, guys. We are back in game. We'll see how long things remain playable. Tom is going to get shut down there. No, not going for the dash in. Won't find all that much damage, but positioning-wise, Golden Age are in a pretty good situation. They have quite a bit of control. Nice TP from Sinks, getting behind him and in the bush as well. So kept this location kind of secret for a second, and there's a chance for Final Stand to start dealing some damage of their own. Though Sterling was a great kill onto Kanan, and Tom is able to get a couple of shots down to take back the lead. Tom trying to heal up before going for the dash, is able to get there and get a couple of shots off on the save. Nona looking to do the same. And that's gonna leave us with a 3% lead in favor of Golden Age. Tritnock pushing forward, finding a lot of value, is able to find the first skill. Sinks is gonna be the second victim from Tritnock on that Rosa. Slowly but surely, Golden Age are trying to build up that lead. Tom pushing forward, is not able to find the kill. It's a tiny bit of damage on save, but it's really minor. However, Kanan and Sinks now looking to take back that lead for Final Stand. Give the advantage back to their team. Nona dashes forward. Sinks is forced to TP out. They find a nice double kill. Some nice damage coming through there from Tom as well on save, causing some trouble for Golden Age. 25 seconds left roughly. Tritnock is looking to engage. A strong team push coming through. Nona does get shut down. Tritnock should be next, and that leaves only Sinks and Sterling. TP in from Sinks is a miss. Some damage slips through onto that blue safe. It's only a 7% lead. This can slip out of hand quickly, but Tom is there to deal some extra damage, and that should be about enough to secure it here. Final Stand will take the first set in the end. A bit of a messy set, but conditions were not always ideal here for either team. So that's set one for Final Stand in the end. Seems like it was looking pretty playable from my eyes at least, but just to have an overall idea of what happened and why we had such a long break, guys, the Amazon servers are having a lot of problems at the moment, and it happens that Brawl Stars runs on the Amazon servers, so that means that it directly impacts the performance of the game, and that has been causing a lot of problems. In the first place, ready to just create lobbies and private games and then jump in. It's been a bit of a mess, but it is what it is. It's not like we can solve any of those issues. It's pretty much only on Amazon side of things, so we have to see how things go on their side. But I'm assuming things are rather stable for now, as we have a bit of a replay about that set actually. So that was in the first game. It was a surprising win from Golden Age. but it didn't last for very long as game 2 was taken back by Final Stand just before they managed to pick up the third game as well, securing that initial high set. So a lot of tanks on both sides, which can be also a sign that, you know, they want to be on the safer side and not really risk playing with delay or with lag. Brawlers that are relying a lot on aim and on stuff like that, because it's going to be a lot harder to hit your shots, obviously. Whereas up close, auto aim is auto aim. Whether you're lagging or not, it is still deadly. If you're a bull and you're in the face of someone, it's still going to be problematic. But Layer Cake is going to be up next, and it is a map where we've seen some metas where we had a lot of tanks. I feel like it's not necessarily the most applicable one to the current meta, but it could still be played. It could still be played for sure. Poco is banned though, so keep that in mind as well. I see Science asking in chat, please Teddy, where can we get the pins? Which pins? I'm confused. All right. But yeah, so far it is the scoreline we expected. Final Stand on top, but the way we got here was a little rockier than planned for sure. But a win is a win, and that's what ultimately matters for them. They're going to be trying to keep it up like that. Layer Cake up next. I mean, you have the classics on Layer Cake, right? You have the Ticks, you have the even Pipe or Bell can do a lot of work. Spike, I think, is a pretty decent one here too. But you also have a lot of interesting stuff you can bring in. You know, if you want to go for a Buzz, you certainly can. A Mortis can also do a lot of work. Or a Byron mid to try to piece that all together. I think that's a good opportunity as well, and something that I wouldn't be surprised seeing from Golden Age. I see Sing Sing in chat. Teddy, we were having issues on auto-generating room servers. Yeah, I get that, Sings. I get that. Fingers crossed, no more server lag. That would be ideal. But as I said earlier, it doesn't really depend on us too much, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to hope for the best and do with what we got. All right, well, we do have some of the brawlers I was mentioning. We have a Max Gene Sandy on the Final Stand, and that's rather scary looking at that comp from Golden Age. It's not gonna be easy dealing with that many tanks. No, almost gets Tom as well. It's barely gonna survive, and that means that Final Stand have the 1-star lead for now. However, with a comp like what Golden Age are bringing in, anything can happen, and Sinks almost gets taken out. Nona not gonna go for the stun there. He wants to keep it for his next push, knew that he was gonna go down anyways, which he certainly did. Oh, Nona gets shut down. Knockback from Tom is perfectly timed, shutting down that attempt. Sterling gets traded out, and so far it's straight up to trade, but always favorable for Final Stand. Push forward, a lot of value of those bats. Nona with a double kill as well, and Kanan, smooth dash away to stay alive, but nevertheless 18-18, and the blue star is in the hands of Golden Age, giving them the lead for now. Kanan should be spotting Shirt Knock there. That is 1 kill. Tom, no way for him to do anything in this situation, and Golden Age, they're going to be taking that game away. Okay, Golden Age was a nice comeback in this game. It did feel like at some point it was pretty much in control of Final Stand, but not for long. Not for long enough, at least, as Golden Age take it in the end, taking the lead also in Bounty in the process. All right, they're not done fighting, but I feel like they're starting to be a bit more predictable comp-wise. A lot of tanks. That's pretty much it. Tanks and Mortis, if you don't want to call him a tank. I usually still consider Mortis kind of as a tank, because he's very close range and he gets in the mix, and in the end Sure, it's a bit more of an assassin with a lot of healing, but when you have a lot of healing and you already have a decent amount of HP, I feel like it kind of makes you sort of a tank, you know, because you take a lot of damage to be taken out. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like it kind of works, and we've seen that a lot from Golden Age. I said earlier I expected the Byron, but in my head I was also thinking maybe they go triple tank, and that was more along the lines of what they wanted to go for here. So final stand, I feel like from now on they should always have a tank counter in their comp, always. I think that's pretty much a must, seeing from what we've seen from the 4 games we've had so far. Every single one was very tank heavy on Golden Age's side. So having something like, depending on the map obviously, right, a B or an Ems available, I think could go a long way in shutting down Golden Age, or at least making sure that they don't get stomped and they get put in situations like these where there's nothing they can do, right? If they don't have gadgets to knock them back and stun them, if the Mortis dashes in, or even the Buzz, they have no way of stopping them. Even the Frank, it's a long time. It takes a long time for them to take him down. So overall, I think that's maybe what Final Stand need to work on comp-wise. On the other hand, I mean, if they're not Golden Age, they need to keep abusing that. They need to keep abusing that. So far, they kind of have. They kind of have. And sure, they did lose the first set in the end, but as I said, I expected things to be a lot less close in a way, and so far they've been surprising us, and we see the same comp coming in here from Final Stand, but no tanks on Golden Age, so a bit of more variety. However, variety doesn't seem to be paying off so far, as they lose both the blue star and a player quite early on. Pull from Shirtnock, finds the double connection. That's going to be a double kill. One trade, but that's still a 4-star lead in favor of Golden Age. Let's see if Final Stand can find any opportunities. So far, more of a stalemate. Pool is going to connect on one of Shirtnock's shadows, which basically is going to fully counter that pool. A lot of utility out of the way there for Final Stand, but Shirtnock going a little bit too aggressive perhaps, gets punished. Sinks is going to get pulled himself, taken out. 4-star lead for Golden Age. 25 seconds left on the clock. Not a lot of time to work with, and a lot of work to do. Sterling has the pull once again, and that double pull combo from Golden Age is very problematic. Kanan is going to get shut down once more, and look at that double pull from Shirtnock. Double kill follows, and that's going to be Golden Age tying things up in sets as they take Bounty as well. It's 1-1, guys. It's 1-1. So far, I am once again impressed by Golden Age, and we have to give credit where credit is due, but also criticism where criticism is due. And we don't know how ideal the settings are here for everyone to play because of the servers, but from what we've seen, Golden Age were playing good. They were playing good. That's the thing as well. A bit more one-dimensional, you know, with a lot of tanks, but they've shown as well that in games like these, they're able to make it work with some slightly more traditional comps. Still not exactly traditional, but man, that's so much. It's not exactly crowd control with the pools, but in a way it kind of is, because it's going to keep people from entering certain areas, because they know that if they do, they're going to get pulled, and when they do, they get pulled, and it's a free kill. Whether it's a Terra pool or a Gene pool, it's a free kill. So to a certain extent, it locks down a lot of positioning, and it just reduces the space that Final Stand had to work with. And every time they tried to take some more space, they got punished big time it's 1-1, and Final Stand Esports, they're not really looking to drop this game, man. They're not. I feel like this is a match they should have, and so far, it's looked not nearly as good as I expected. And things started going really wrong here, right? They had the lead, but in the end, they were able to steal it on the sides of Golden Age. Game 2 was much more dominant from Golden Age. Working out really well, a lot of really good pulls. I mean, Churtnock got 2 double sucks. That says a lot. In most games where there's a Tara, you don't get 1. Getting 2 at this level of play is impressive. Good positioning on his side and kind of some weaker positioning from Final Stand. Stacking up together a little bit too much. Sneaky Fields is going to be up next, and here, I mean, it's going to be Speed Gadget time, right? This is the map for Speed Gadget right now. Expecting to see probably some Sandy, maybe some Ems, maybe Spike could show an appearance. For mid, I'd say maybe a Gene, since we've seen them really looking to play some Gene. Maybe also just going for some tanks on the sides of Golden Age. We've seen that happen quite a couple of times already so far. So possibilities are definitely there. But it is going to be speedy and very chaotic. I think that one way to try to counter that chaos is maybe to go for some destruction-heavy comps, remove as many of the bushes as possible, and then you don't have to rely on them too much or be too scared of them, right? But I feel like Sandy is just so good on this map with the speed gear. It just does so much work, so much work. I think overall the speed gear, I've talked about it a couple of times already, but I think it's pretty broken. But on this map particularly, it is really absurd how strong it is. So I'm curious to see what comes. Both teams are looking to bring in. I think, as I said, I think Sandy is a really, really strong brawler already on the map in general, but specifically with speed, it combines very well. It combines very well. Options are there. Options are there. The question is, what do they decide to bring in? And there's only going to be one way to find out. For that, we have to wait until we get in game. But both teams, they want to think carefully because it can get dangerous quickly if they don't pay attention. And the third set is usually a very important set when it's 1-1 because it's going to give a lot of momentum and build up some confidence getting into the potential final set, right? So I feel like they have some work to do on both sides. Let's see who is going to be doing that better. And we had a couple of lags. Does seem to be fine for now.
Hey.
Yeah, this looks like a lot of lag. This looks like a lot of lag. Kill from Tom onto Churtnock. It could just be the spectator standpoint that is lagging. So it could just be the spectator side that is lagging, but it could also be the entire game. So for the players and us, so not entirely sure. From how little they've been moving, even when it's not really lagging, I don't think that that this is playable for them. It doesn't feel like it is, but I can only say so much at this point. Oh God. Well, this is not looking too good, is it? I've never seen a goal that takes this long to score. Oh. At last. At last, they beat the lag. They beat the lag. They were able to score against the lag. I'm 90% sure this is not actually gonna be counted as a game because, as you guys can see, a lot of stuff is going on. But when I said earlier that I expected a lot of chaos, this is not what I was referring to. But unfortunately, that's what we're stuck with. All right. Well, I don't think I have to explain that that did not look playable, and, and I'm pretty sure that is not going to be counted in. We'll see if we can find a fix for that or other solutions, but it's not ideal. It's unfortunate timing that we have the show on a day where this happens, but we have a show every day of the week for the most part, so the odds are there. It's happened before, and usually it takes a while to fix. It's been pretty much all day already that Amazon have had some server problems, to be fair. I hope this does not count. I really doubt it's going to be counting, Seko. I'm pretty sure that if admins see this, I don't think they have to debate a lot to see that it's unplayable. It's also not one of those situations where you have like one player that lagged and you're kind of there like, well, you can't really replay an entire match for one guy that like lagged out or his game crashed, you know? Whereas here, it definitely looked like everyone was going through the same problem. So solutions will be there, but it might take some time to figure out what the exact game plan is, because obviously we can't solve the lag by itself. That's not really up to us. We can give it time, or we can find other measures, but this is as far as we can do. But yeah, really unfortunate. We'll see if we can find a fix, or if there is going to be a fix, rather. As I said, it's not really up to us. Servers, we don't really have anything to do with that. But we have to deal with the consequences, as you guys just saw. What's happening? Same server problems, Hasnate. All right, you guys won't mind if I get a sip of water? I usually try to, you know, keep it for the breaks, but we've had a lot of downtime, so. So I'll allow myself to treat myself with a little bit of water. All right, okay, I have some info from behind the scenes. It seems like we're gonna call it a day and figure out a solution that works for players, production, and casters, obviously. So, guys, really unfortunate that this is how the day ends. I was looking forward to quite a couple of the matches, but it seems like we'll be finding some solutions behind the scenes. Obviously, the teams that are involved will be communicated with whatever decision is being made. But that's pretty much going to be it then, I guess. Well, I appreciate everyone that's been sticking around in chat. You guys are the real goats, because I would have died if I was by myself, just, you know, just waiting for the games to start and for the lag to end. But I appreciate you guys a lot, and it means a lot that you guys are supporting the stream no matter what. With that being said, we're going to be calling it a day for now, and we'll keep you guys updated regarding any decisions, whether we postpone or whatever decision is made. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hopefully everything is solved by tomorrow, and we'll see you no matter what for tomorrow's show. I'll see you guys then.
Brawlers! The showdown will make history! Best teams from Russia, Ukraine, Poland, France and Turkey. Winners of the Open qualifiers and top 8 invited teams will meet in the final battle for the champion title and a bounty of $10,000. Join the stream on December the 7th. Don't miss out on the epic international group stage of GameStars Brawl Stars Season 2.